We are currently on an 8-night cruise on the incredible Celebrity Beyond. What many of you don't know is they've added a brand new pool, and it looks like this. JJ Cruise. Hey everybody, what is up? My name is Jordan and this is JJ Cruise. That was a fun little intro for you regarding the topic that we're going to talk about today. We are on an 8-night Caribbean cruise in the middle of summer, the high season for travel in the United States and North America. And today we're going to talk about kids on cruise ships. Now, I know this is a touchy subject. I know that this is a controversial subject, but for the second time in my cruising career, I am actually cruising with a child. I'm not a parent myself, but I do have siblings that are still considered children. And we're going to talk about an incident at the pool, and I really want everyone to weigh in at the comments because I think that this is kind of a hot and controversial topic. Now, before we get into it, I do just want to invite you to subscribe to the channel. Of course, this is JJ Cruise. We do all things cruising. We're on a cruise ship right now. If you love cruising as much as Jared and I do, hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Children on cruise ships is one of the hottest topics in the industry. You see this in promotions. Kids sail free on Royal Caribbean or Celebrity. You see no kids allowed on cruise lines such as Virgin Voyages, which is the first completely no child cruise line. And currently we are on the beautiful Celebrity Beyond, a cruise ship that is really built and meant for adults, but with a brand that is really trying to preach bring the kids along and multi-generational families belong here. Well, we are currently traveling with an 11-year-old, my sister, and she has been enjoying the ship, but there's one part of the ship that she's really been enjoying, and that is the pool deck. Now, at the very end of this video, I'll tell you what the intro is all about and where I saw that picture at and what I think about it. But I was out with Amber at the pool deck the other day, and we were hanging out in the pool, really just relaxing. We had kind of laid out in the sun for a little bit, and then she said she just kind of wanted to lounge by the pool. So we got in the pool, and this was a port day. I let mom and dad get off the ship and kind of go enjoy their day while Amber and I hung back on the ship and just kind of relaxed and chilled. Well, that was, I think, the thought process for a lot of parents that day, because primarily at the pool was a lot of dads, a lot of moms, and their children. Now, if you've never been on Celebrity Cruises before, something that you might not know is they don't have active lifeguards on the pool decks like some of the other more family-friendly lines. For example, Royal Caribbean always has a lifeguard on duty that are controlling and monitoring things at the pool. They're there to watch if kids are jumping in the pool or running on the pool deck. There are pool attendants on Celebrity, and when the pool deck is really busy, there's quite a few of them out there. But on this particular port day, there really wasn't any pool attendants that were watching the pool deck or keeping an eye on things. Now, I say that because there was a lot of cannonballs, a lot of running and jumping in the pool, and it kind of sparked a discussion amongst people around the pool if kids should be allowed to splash in the pool and just be kids, or if there should be a no splash zone, specifically on this cruise line, Celebrity Cruises. This entire debate began when two kids began a splashing competition. Now, myself and Amber were not involved in this, and they were pretty far away from where we were, but they were splashing each other back and forth, and there was a couple of other people that were older. They're just kind of enjoying their time, relaxing in the pool, that I overheard the conversation. Kids should not be allowed in the pool at all. That was what one woman said. A parent kind of clapped back and said, "Hey lady, we paid for this trip too, and my kids can do whatever they want in the pool." Now, when I hear a dialogue like this, my ears perk up and I definitely lean in a little bit to listen on to the conversation. There is an adults only pool on this ship, and those people could have been in the adults only pool, but they chose to be on the outer decks, the nice resort deck, which is what Celebrity calls their main pool deck area. But they got into this kind of back and forth discussion. I don't want to call it an argument because it never really got aggressive. It was pretty civil. However, the older couple that was there made it a point that there are cruise lines for families like Royal Caribbean, Carnival, and Disney, and then there are cruise lines for adults like Celebrity, Princess, and Holland. And children do not belong on these more premium cruise lines. They belong in the Royal Caribbean category or the Carnival category of cruising. I found this fascinating because even though it's very evident that there are ships built for families and ships built more towards adults, all of these ships in discussion have kids clubs on board, which means the cruise lines are very open to kids traveling with grandma and grandpa, or kids coming on with mom and dad to have maybe a little bit more of a different type of vacation that's more for mom and dad and less for the kids. This conversation really got my mind going because Celebrity is now stopping at Royal Caribbean's private island, Coco Cay. The Reflection is doing a lot of short sailings going there, and Coco Cay has things like water slides, places that are very specifically for families. And when I was on the Reflection back in May to Coco Cay, there was quite a few families on board. It's reminiscent, honestly, of what's going on this week. There are a lot of kids on board and a lot of multi-generational families, little kids traveling with mom and dad and grandma and grandpa and all of the aunts and uncles. I want to know from our crew here on YouTube, what do you think? Do you think that kids and families should stick to family-only lines? Or do you think that mom and dad deserve to have a vacation with the kids every once in a while and do something a little bit more in the premium category? Now, I am not a parent myself, so I don't really want to draw a very hard or harsh line on this because I don't know what the experience is like to have children of my own and to travel with them extensively throughout other countries on cruise ships, which is why I'm turning it over to all of you. I want to know from those of you that either travel with kids, travel with families, or if your kids are grown up and out of the house, what you think of this scenario and that discussion that happened at the pool. And if you don't have kids and you want to weigh in, that's completely fine too. I'd love to hear from as many people as possible in the comments. Are you team families on all cruise ships? Or do you think that cruise ships should go more towards the Virgin Voyages of having select ships or all ships be adults only with no children allowed? I told you I was going to tell you about the picture at the very beginning of the video. I thought that this was kind of funny. Now, this was obviously a family that brought this pool on board, and they kind of tucked themselves way away from the pool on the pool deck in a place that you really had to look to find this or see this. It wasn't obvious. It was not sticking out in the middle of anything. And I actually kind of thought it was brilliant because mom and dad could soak in the sun, relax, and lay out. And this pool was not in anyone's way. When I saw it though, I had to snap a picture and put it here on YouTube because I thought it would make a great talking point. Well, that's the video today. Let me know again what you think in the comments. I appreciate everyone watching the video, subscribing, and liking. Thank you so much. Again, my name is Jordan. This is JJ Cruise. Until next time, see ya.